All right, here is my final thoughts and review of the inks. So there are 22 inks here that I swatched, all from Penablers. They're all 4 milliliter samples, which is a super generous amount. It definitely looks, these look like there's more in here than there actually is compared to my So and So 5 ml bottles, but I'm sure that's not the case. I think it's just the size of the I don't know, thing vial that makes it look like there's less. So anyways, that was totally an aside. So these are the inks. You can see here them all dried up with the shading. I only this time purchased a couple shimmery inks because lately I've been really into chroma shaders and shading inks. I just love how they write, because I love the pool of the dark in the writing, where you like lift your pen up and stuff. And so I decided to try a bunch of shading inks. I do have a lot of shimmer inks because I also really love shimmer inks, but what I'm finding and what I think concerned about is the clogging of the feed in my pens. I already know, like, let's say in my Ferris wheel press carousel pen, this one, when I first received it, I put in Van Diemen's Orchid Mantis, I believe it was, the pink kind of glittery ink, and it just wasn't running. It wasn't writing very smoothly because I think that the shimmer was sort of clogging it, and I always still give my pen a little bit of a shake to agitate the shimmer in the cartridge or in the converter, but I think it still sort of clogs it. So even now, after I've flushed it and put in new inks, like I have Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukiyo in this pen, you'll see, or I'll see, glitter kind of here and there in the writing because it's still in the feed itself. So long story to say that I'm trying to move not away from shimmer inks necessarily, but just in writing, I'd like to use more just shading or chroma shaders that are legible. So that's why a lot of these inks are that. I will say my favorite, I think, of my bunch here, I love Pelikan Edelstein Golden Lapis. It is just a beautiful blue. It almost reminds me of a Pilot ink, but with gold shimmer and a little bit of red sheening. And then I also really love the Pelikan Edelstein Rose Quartz. And the camera makes it look darker, but it's such a beautiful color. Really, really loved it. And then this Birmingham Pen Company Wash Lavender, purpley pinks, blues, those are totally my jam. So it's natural that I feel like I gravitate towards those colors. A really interesting one that I found on here was this Troublemaker Kelp tea. It looks a bit murky, and again, it just looks darker in camera for whatever reason. But it just was really interesting. And then this Troublemaker Sepia Hour, I really liked. I don't know, it's legible, but it's not like super legible. So may just be more of a painting ink, but I could see writing with it as well. Also really loved the Teranishi Guitar Emotional Olive, the Golden Orchid here. And then I also did like this Eucalyptus stem. It's dried a bit lighter. And again, it looks darker in the camera, but it's dried a bit lighter than when it first went down, like most inks, I guess. But all in all, I do really like all of these. I didn't realize how similar some of the inks are that I ordered. So I think next time, and I think sometimes it gets like that when you place a big order of samples, you sort of start losing sight of what you're ordering. So it's good maybe to note them or review them and then have kind of sample swatches, not next to you, but like online when you're looking them up, so that you aren't ordering too many of the same inks. Anyway, so if I pull this aside, I just want to show a comparison to some of the inks that I have. And so I'm going to pull you a little bit closer. This is my little ink log. And so I noticed, that, again, right off the bat, that I had very similar oranges. LAMY Mango is more mango-y than the other two that I have here. But if I flip to my oranges, actually, let's start with the red. So let's get to the reds here first. So the Pilot Iroshizuku Momiji, my son really likes this one. He pointed it out, and when it went down, I really liked it. It was a really rich, vibrant red, As it dried, and this is Tomo River paper, as it dried, it sort of became more muted. And this is showing more true colors now than before, but it looked more muted. So when I look and compare it to my reds, and I don't have a ton of reds, I have 2 pages worth of reds. It feels like it looks sort of like the Van Diemen's Peacock Spider without the glitter. Peacock Spider has a kind of blue glitter to it, and I'll see if I can bring it up here so you can see the difference. So you can kind of see they look very similar. I don't know if it's catching the glitter in this light here, but there is glitter in the Peacock Spider for Van Diemen's, but that's what it looks similar to. When we look at the Pelikan Edelstein Apricot Achat, and the Pilot Irish Shizuku Toro and the LAMY Mango. So if I flip to my oranges here, you can see they look very similar to Roarer and Klinger Sanddorn and Van Diemen's Monarch Butterfly. So let me just jam them there. They, oh, can't really see them, 1 second here. That's better. So they do look very similar. What I am finding for myself, delightedly so, is that I seem to really enjoy the yellow oranges. I find that I just love the brightness of them. They just feel fresh to me. So I really like this Pilot Irish Shizuku Toro, Roarer and Cleaner Sanders. So this was actually in a mystery 5-pack sample that I received and purchased from, I think it was Wonder Pens. I think they're the ones that do the 5-pack 2 ml samples, mystery samples. And I remember when I first got it, I was like very not excited about receiving it. I think also at that time, the 5-pack that I received were inks that I was like, oh, they're not very exciting, because I had like, I believe I got like a black ink, a brown ink, I think I got LAMY Sepia, and I can't, this one, and then something else. So it just wasn't a really exciting mix of mystery inks. But surprisingly enough, the few that I received in there, I really love. Like LAMY Sepia is a great ink. This one is fantastic. I love the color of it. And then I think I got Platinum Carbon to try, which I've been using for just sketching and stuff because it's waterproof. Anyway, so it ended up being actually like a good mystery pack. But going back to this, so you can see here the Roarer and Klinger Sanddorn, the Pilot Irish Shizuku Toro, and the Pelikan Apricot Achat. Very similar. So I feel like if you had one of these 3 inks, you probably don't need the other 2. And then when it comes to comparing to Van Diemen's Monarch Butterfly, again, similar sort of profile, except the Monarch Butterfly is a bit more orange than the yellow orange. LAMY Mango, on the other hand, is more, I don't even know, this ink was also weird going down. I felt it didn't have a, like, I don't know if you can even tell in here, like, it's just it's like watered down. It's not watered down, but it felt like it was watered down. I don't know how to explain it, but I thought I would love this more, and it might, maybe just on different paper it might look better, but I have TRP here because I feel like it's like the El Primo of Primo papers, but I don't hate it. I think I just love the other bright yellow oranges more. If we move to yellow, red, orange, yellow, green. So green is my Birmingham pen company, Eucalyptus stem, this Monteverde Olivine, the Teranishi guitar emotional olive, and the Pilot Irish Shizuku Chikurin. I think those are my greens here, so let's move to the greens. So for these ones here, the Birmingham pen company Eucalyptus stem, I believe it looks sort of like, I don't know if you can see it down here, but the Diamine Fern Fox, so this was an Inkvent 2025 ink. The color of the base is very similar to this one without the shimmer. So if you wanted a non-shimmer version, the Eucalyptus stem is a great option for you. Although Fern Fog is beautiful. I don't think I have, oh, here's another one. So I have a sample of Monarcha Mangler, and I would say that the colors are fairly similar as well, especially in the darker shading. So that's another similar one. Perhaps Diamine Canal Side, another sample I have, but I think this one's a lot darker than the Eucalyptus stem. And I think that's about it. Maybe even Copperleaf Guild sort of has that similar sort of under the base, similar kind of tones, but I think the closest one in my arsenal of ink is the Diamine Fern Fog or the Monarcha Mangler. For the next one, Monteverde Olivine, when I looked at my inks that I have, I don't have a single color that is in this kind of darker, it's not even like, well, I guess it's like olive. It's like an olive, like just a dark olive green. I don't really have a dark olive green. I don't think, I just have my greens together, not in a, by like tones of green. So I would say maybe Ferris Wheel Press Lost in the Leaves is the base. So if you look at the lighter green, it's fairly similar. Lost in the Leaves does have a copper shimmer to it. And I think, yeah, that's that one for that. If we look at Teranishi Guitar Emotional Olive, this is a beautiful sort of yellow olive green. The closest that I have, if you're looking for a different ink for a similar one, I don't believe I have anything like it. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I don't have anything like it. So I also really like this one. I thought it actually would be darker, but I do love the yellow green. It's just a color I don't have, so that is a nice little addition to discover. I think that's it for the greens, and then we're on to blues now. So the blue ink samples I got from Penabler are the Birmingham Pen Company Glasswing Butterfly Twinkle, the Pelikan Edelstein Golden Lapis, and the Waterman Mysterious Blue. So right off the bat, going to Birmingham Pen Company, what this reminded me of right away from the samples that I have is KWZ Sheen Machine. And KWZ does not have the shimmer, but it has the same kind of sheen. It's like almost like a reddy purple sheen to me, to my eyes anyways. And then in those pockets of sheen for the Birmingham Pen Company are the little multi-chromatic or like chromatic, I don't even know. Anyways, there's golden shimmer, I think, at least it looks to me, in the Birmingham Pen Company Glasswing Butterfly Twinkle ink. So very similar. There is also another ink that has a similar sheen and color profile to KWZ and the Birmingham, and that's the Diamine and Kelp Pens exclusive Iridescent Marine. I don't know if you can see that as well. And then I think that's it for that one. And then if we look at Pelikan Edelstein Golden Lapis, which is the blue with the golden shimmer and a little bit of the red sheen in the pockets or edging. That one kind of reminds me of Pilot Airoshizuku Ama-Iro. And it's not identical, but the blue shade is very similar, I feel, to the Ama-Iro without, of course, the shimmer. That is the closest I have for that one. Yeah. Yeah. And then the last one is the Mysterious Waterman Mysterious Blue. And this one reminds me of, sorry, let me just bring this black here. This one here reminds me of Sailor Blue Black. So it has sort of like a blue black feel to it with some, this one does have some kind of red edging to it in the darker pools. But the base color looks very similar to Sailor Blue Black for me. And that is the blues. If we move into the purples, my favorite. All right, so if we're looking at Troublemaker Golden Orchid, the closest I think that I have to it is maybe Sailor 252, maybe Kitty Ink Pot City Vic Gardenias. Let's see. I love the crinkly sound of the TRP as you turn the pages and whatnot. Yeah, I think the closest is, so here's Sailor 252. we're looking at this one, Troublemaker Golden Orchid. So it's sort of like a light purple pink color, and it pools darker purple in the shading or the darker areas. And so it looks very similar to Sailor 252. Again, this is a sample that I had from my friend when I first received some ink samples. So these were some of the first ink samples I had to broaden my knowledge and experience with fountain pennings. And I fell in love with 252 because it's just a beautiful purple, legible, love the shading and the colors and the depth that it has. And so I ended up buying a bottle of it because I loved it so much. So I feel like if you have the 252, probably don't need Golden Orchid. And then the other one I thought might be sort of similar was Kitty Ink Pot City of Gardenia. It sort of has that same base color as you can see here. And then some of the pooling and stuff is very similar for the shading. So, you know, I don't know that we need all three inks and stuff, but again, these two are samples. This one is a bottle for myself. And then if we look at Troublemaker Moon River, this might be more in the pink family. I don't know that I'll have anything in the purple family for this. Yeah. So we'll wait for that. The Dominant Industry Sunset number 20. At first I thought it was very similar to the Dominant Industry Endless Summer Hydrangeas, which is the new one, or a new Dominant Industry ink. My sample of Sunset, so the reason why I ordered this one's because I loved not just the color and the tones, but also the shimmer. But my sample didn't have a lot of shimmer, so I'm not sure if I should be mad about that or not. But it is still a beautiful color. So I have Dominant Industry Endless Summer Hydrangeas in the blue family up here. And so I would say it's not very similar. This is more a periwinkle blue base, and this is more a lavender sort of lilac base. But if we go into my purples, what I think it looks most similar to is potentially Van Diemen's Last Light, one of my favorite purples, lilac purples. But it is a darker, so it's not a true identical kind of similar ink, but it is similar in the sense of the family, I guess. Other than that, I don't think I have. Maybe Kobe ink. No, Kobe ink is brighter than it. Collection Trace is also a bit darker than the Dominant Industry Sunset. Yeah, so I don't think I have an ink quite like this one here, and I really do like this one. But also I have a lot of inks, as you can see, in this kind of color family that's like the purpley pinky blue chroma shaders, because I love them. So I don't know that I necessarily need another one because I have so many other ones to work with. But it's good to kind of see different ones. And then the last purple one here is the Birmingham Pen Company Wash Lavender 2.0. This is beautiful. I really love this ink. The closest I could find to it, I believe, is, if I can turn the pages here. I think the Ferris Wheel Press Gossiping Grapevine. So this one here, where's my finger? The base color and the, like, maybe not the lighter area, but the darker colors is very similar to this purple without the shimmer again. So I would say that's similar. Although when you write the writing sample, you can see that this is a richer purple, whereas this is more of a lilac base. Maybe Ostrich Dark Purple. Yeah, so I would say that is it. Okay, then the next one is pink. So Troublemaker Moon River is the next pink here, or is the pink. So I think for myself, what is closest to it, let me see. It's kind of giving me like like the Van Diemen's Willoware Benelong ink kind of vibes. Actually, these both kind of are, but I don't think they're similar to that, but we'll look at that later. So in terms of the pinks here, I don't think I have, oh, okay. Maybe this Dream Ink Rose in the Yard. The colors, again, less the shimmer, very similar in terms of the coloring. Yeah, I think Dream Ink is the closest, but it's much lighter than the Troublemaker Moon River. Okay, and then Sepia, I think that's more in the browns maybe. Let's do any other pinks. Oh, and then Edelstein Rose Quartz. Oh, what a beauty. Okay. This one, I don't think I have anything similar to it. So there's the Edelstein. So it's sort of like this, like, almost mauvey, like, tones. Like, it's got, like, purpley tones in the pooling and the shading. And then it's just, like, not quite, like, it's not bright, like, Kobe Doki Doki or, like, Lamy Crystal Rhodonite. It's not that kind of, it's almost like a, I would say it's like a bright dusky pink, if that even makes sense. So the closest I have to it is maybe Diamond Mittens. Yeah, I think that's like its own little vibe here. So really like it. I can totally see myself getting a bottle or a larger sample of Pelikan Edelstein because it is such a beautiful color. The next, I think that's it for the pinks. Okay, so I believe I did not touch on Troublemaker Petrichor. This one's sort of in a bluey green family, I would say. So if we turn to my blues and greens, let's see if there's anything that kind of looks similar to it. So these are my greens. Yeah, nothing in the greens, maybe in the blues. How about this one? So we have Dominant Industry Soleil Couchant et Apricot. Don't know if I said that right. Here is Troublemaker Petrichor. Has in the pooling has similar tones, and the base is very similar. Not identical, but very similar. So that might be one there. What else are we doing here? I think we've done all the rest except for, oh, I didn't even touch on Pilot Irish Suzuku Chikurin. So that's in the green family. So I don't think I have any color like this at all. And I also really like this color. The closest I think is in the same Pilot family, the Pilot Irish Suzuku Hotori Bu. But again, not similar at all. It's just in the same kind of like family in term, and also I like that they're both bright. So I do also really like this Chikurin, and I may down the road acquire a small bottle of it. So Pilot Irish Suzuku lines come in at the big 50 ml bottles or the smaller, I think 15 ml bottles. And I actually really like the 15 ml bottles because I feel like that's the perfect amount that I need in a bottle size. Some people might consider those as like larger sample sizes, but I consider them as bottles themselves. The other one I noticed kind of quickly was maybe this ostrich light green. This is a lot brighter than the Pilot Irish Suzuku Chikurin, but kind of similar. So maybe that is something as well. Okay, I think we covered all the rest. I think let's go to, oh, so I'm going to dive back again, back to oranges. This California Poppy by Birmingham Pen Company. I don't think I touched on. So this is a more kind of like dusky orange, if there's a dusky orange color. And so I think, yeah, this one might be the closest, is the Diamond Inkjet 2025 Marie Rose. This is a brighter version of it, it looks like, but very similar kind of colors. And I actually really like Diamond Marie Rose. It's one of my favorite inks, which is surprising because it's not, outside of shading, there's really not a, and the color, it's just very unique, I find. So I think that's why I like it. But it's not, otherwise it's not very spectacular in any of the other, there's no sheening and shimmer and all that stuff, but I just really do like it because of the uniqueness of it. Okay, let's move back onto the sepia and the browns. And so my voice feels really deep right now, but it's like morning right now. And so trying to film this before work gets started for me. Okay, the last one here is, let's see. We have Troublemaker Kelp Tea, which is this sort of like beigey, like, oh, what's this color? Beigey, like, I don't know, tan kind of color. So the closest I can find is Kitty Ink Pot Malted Gingerbread at the market. Similar, but this one has more brown in it. Yeah, see here is Van Diemen's Woolworry Benelong. And you can see it has that similar sort of coloring, like for both of these. I mean, it's not, oh, sorry, is it that one? Yeah, it's not the same, but again, not same, but similar. And while I'm looking at these browns, I'm also looking at Troublemaker Sepia Hour to see if there's anything similar. And I don't think so. Maybe brown and buttered. Barely. This one has more orange tones in it. I think that's it for browns. And I don't really order a ton of black inks. I find with black inks, I just prefer them to be standard. Like I already have the first black ink that I acquired. Was Van Diemen's, oh sorry, not Van Diemen's, was Ferris Wheel Pressed Roaring Patina Black. And I really like that one, and I have a whole bottle of it, so I don't tend to order too many black inks because I just have a lot of it, and I prefer to get inks in the other colors and stuff. So that, and then I guess we could look at grays for this Petrichor, Troublemaker Petrichor. Maybe it's kind of lives in the gray family. Maybe Adventurine sort of looks like it. But this one has shimmer. Yeah, I think that's it. So anyways, that was a really long review in comparison of the inks that I have. But this is what I have for my, whatchamacallit. I'll just pull you out here. So those are the ink samples from Penablers. Anyways, thanks so much for being here and watching, and hopefully you were able to develop a little bit of your wish list from this. And if Penablers is a retail place that you can order from without, you know, incurring too many tariffs or taxes or whatnot, definitely give them a look because they do have a really great collection of inks to order from and try out before you buy. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye.